Hey, hi, this is Shivani Roy. I'm representing LeadSquared at a LeadSquared webinar. Thank you so much for joining the session, especially to all the newcomers, the ones who are joining us for the first time. We do this very regularly, these webinars, I mean. So I hope you can join us sometime again. So today we'll be talking about leveraging LeadSquared for business continuity. Obviously, at a crisis like this, you need to know what are the features, what are the tools out there that can really help you when you're working from home. um, More than that, I hope you're safe, and I hope you're joining in from an environment where you can just work at peace. Happy Ugadi to those who are from South India. I hope you're joining in, and I hope you're being able to connect with other family members via video conferencing, online calls, whatever. So I hope you're able to have a good time today. So coming back to the webinar, I am joined by Akanksha, Aishwarya, and Pavan. They are experts who've joined our session today. They are product managers at LeadSquared, and they are here to answer your questions. I'm also joined by Suhas Shenoy, who is the Senior Director professional services at LeadSquared. So some of the things that he'll cover today are, of course, the check-in checkout feature that will help you monitor attendance, how to get user productivity insights, what the things you can do to monitor escalations, delayed tasks, and of course safeguarding data. We're catching up on these topics and much more. So over to you, Suhas. Please, firstly, how are you doing? Where are you joining in from? And how are you feeling today?
Thank you, Shibani. This is Suhas Shenoy. So I'm joining from my home. It's an obvious answer, right? So you might
Yes, of course.
sometime in between, if you hear my child crying or a puppy barking, please excuse me.
Okay.
Okay. So hi, this is Suhas, and I've been working as senior director for professional services in Lead Squad. So I have a good experience of 3 years within Lead Squad and overall of 15 years of experience in implementation. I help customers to implement LeadSquared as a product, right? Define solutions for their business problems. So that's the day in, day out work. The entire team works for that cause.
All right.
All
Um,
right.
yeah. And just interrupting you, Suhas, I forgot to mention this. So yes, those of you who are asking questions, we will address them, and keep your questions coming. That's what our experts are here for. So they'll take them up while Suhas focuses on presenting the webinar.
Perfect. So very good afternoon to all, and happy Ugadi for most of my friends here. So basically, today's webinar will be 2-point agenda. First part, I will take you through the slides, which will help you understand how Lead Squad is equipped to handle the work from home scenario. So what are the features which are key to use during this situation? However, the second part is how are you currently handling your work from home scenario, right? And we are open for questions, and we are here to help you actually to how to make it more effective and how to make it more positive for you and your organization. Going through the agenda, so we will just talk about a few things about accessibility. How do you access Lead Squad from anywhere, right? How do we do work allocation and planning within the Lead Squad? Obviously, the important topic would be productivity and governance. How do we do that while people are using from remote locations? And then security features, then followed by your questions and answers. So it's been tough few weeks for all of us. The world as we navigate a new normal amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. So from a personal standpoint, many of us practicing social distancing by staying at our own homes, right? And professionally, most of us are working from home with an indefinite timeline. So we are not sure when we'll be returning to our offices. So during this time, we will have many questions on how should we move forward, how should we ensure business continuity. So some positive news for folks who have been part of Lead Squad family is that we were always ready as a true SaaS platform to support all business to continue work from home right? And work from anywhere actually. So in today's session, we'll be trying to explain what is that bare minimum which is required to achieve effective work from home, and how LeadSquared enables or helps you to achieve the same without any additional effort. So basically, what is the bare minimum what we require to run the show, right? So number one, the employees being the epicenter, right? So the users being the center, right? Who is supposed to work. So how do they work? So then the next layer talks about connect, communicate, and collaborate. So they need an effective mechanism to connect to each other, connect to their customers, connect to their leaders, right? Communicate efficiently, and then collaborate, which means you have to able to plan your work, right? You should also Shibani, am I audible? So is the audio clear?
Yes, Suhas, we are very clear.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Right. And then followed by the next layer, once they are able to communicate, collaborate, and connect to each other, then what? Accessibility, right? They should be able to access the tools. Internet being one of the important factor. They should be able to have internet connectivity. They should able to access the tools. They should have laptops, right? If in not in case they don't have laptops, then any other devices that can help them to continue their work. Messaging, they should be able to message using they should be able to send messages, right, using different mediums provided by the tool. Few alert notifications, what to do next, how to do, right? Few automations that helps them to continue their work. So this is very important. While they are doing their work, it is important for leaders to have compliance, cover the risk, right, and have a governance structure around. So in these times, the main governance is to monitor the productivity, the monitor the work, monitor the volume of work they do, right? And also it is important to have control over your own data so that your data is safe, secure. So having these layers, the final layer shows you the benefit of work from home, where you'll have reduced operational costs, business continuity definitely being the important parameter, faster time to connect, right? So you don't have traffic issues to reach your office. You just get up, connect, and start. You might have improved customer experience because now you're responding more one-to-one to customer, a lot of messaging that's happening. Higher flexibility and agility. You can work from anywhere, work at any time, right? Work here with own pace. Higher productivity because again, you can spend more time in front of your machines, right? Employee retention. Employee will feel that he's still engaged during this particular situation. He's still engaged. He's continuing to contribute to the organization, right? So employee retention and improved employee experience, right? Now, let me take you through few scenarios of work from home and how to improve the productivity, right? For those who knew that LeadSquared is already on your mobile, for those who don't know, the good news is LeadSquared is available on mobile. It's available in Android as well as your iPhones, right? It is easy to download the LeadSquared and configure. Couple of our customers came back to us saying that we don't have laptops, right? And it is very difficult to effectively arrange a work from home situation when there are no equipments for their employees. We were quick to respond and quick to tell them that we have LeadSquared on mobile, and we were able to do few minor tweaks, right? And then train the users, and quickly within half a day, we were able to help them to continue their business using mobile. So using your mobile app, you can do almost everything what you do in your web. You can actually create a lead, you can put an activity, you can create a task, right? You can also check reports. Shibani, do we have any questions at this point of time?
Yes, there are quite a few questions, Suhas. I was just sifting through them. Um, should I just take them as they've come in? So, Devyani's first question was, how can I check my entire teamwork on leads on a daily basis? Then she has a follow-up question saying how much time has been spent by each person on active working. So, mostly on tracking team performance as of now. So, would you like to take them up now?
Perfect. So that's where I was coming through. So I was trying to tell you that few of the customers asked us to help them on setting up LeadSquared on their mobile, and mobile platform actually enables you to do that. So using mobile platform, you can always create a lead, add an activity, add a task, right? And also you can check on the reports. So most important thing is few customers who have a call center scenario whose business is completely running on call centers, right? So if their call center is hardwired, which means on premise, right? Again, the problem is to set up an effective work from home scenario, because to do the calls and to connect to their customers, they have to be in office. So in that case, we also help them to set up the mobile platform, wherein they could make calls and SMSs using the mobile platform itself, and LeadSquared was able to capture the activity. So I'm sure we will not be able to run a complex campaigns compared to a call center scenario, but definitely business continuity can happen with respect to callings. We can innovatively create some smart views using which they can list the important leads and do a manual calling one by one, right? So if anybody requires any help in setting up LeadSquared for mobile, definitely reach out to us. We will help you. It is very easy. It will take hardly maximum of 1 hour, half an hour to 1 hour, right? To set up this.
All
So you can
right.
download. Yes, Shibani.
Yeah, so it was a similar question. I mean, on the same lines, she was also saying, can I check if each team member has assigned tasks on every lead as a report instead of going to account?
Perfect. So we will get into a specific section of productivity reports, right? Wherein I have displayed a lot of reports. So we will go slowly into that, and I will explain as many reports as possible that will be helpful during this scenario. Okay. So just quickly to wrap up this particular part, you can download LeadSquared app into your Android or iPhone, right? You can access the LeadSquared web app from any network. You just need an internet. Okay, if you are integrated with a cloud telephony, you can use your inbuilt microphone and you can still continue, right? The cloud telephony platform LeadSquared easily integrates with any of the cloud telephony platform. So if you already have any subscription for that, you can quickly connect it using connectors, and then all your work can continue from the home, right? If you don't have any, don't worry. You can use LeadSquared Call and SMS Tracker app. Use your phone network to do the calls, right? We will capture all the activities and you'll be able to continue by adding dispositions. To give you a quick idea, you have to just go to the settings and customization. So there you have a lead forms tab where you can see create lead from mobile, where you can select that option and you can set up the view of the lead, right? You can set up only fields which are required for your business. So it's not required to have to show entire set of fields. So you can configure according to your business. So this would take hardly 5 to 10 minutes. You can edit the section, you can create the different sections, you can move the fields, rename the fields, right? And you can do all those. LeadSquared Call and SMS Tracker. This is the app which you'll get. Again, you can download this and install on your mobile apps, right? Which will give you where you can explicitly give access to your microphone, phone, SMS, and storage, right? This will completely help you to track your calls. This will completely help you to track your SMSs, which has been sent. This is very important for those whose business completely relies on calling. And if they are using any calling platform which was hardwired or on premise, right? then they can use this feature effectively to continue the business. They can use their phones to continue talking to their customers and messaging. Right? So you can see in the screen, using the mobile app, this is a screenshot of the mobile app. You can open the lead and you can send an SMS, you can call the lead, you can also WhatsApp the lead, or if you have WhatsApp for business, you can do that also using this particular app. So next screen is showing how you can send important notifications to your team, and also you can configure some important messages. So for example, in this screen, you can see two options. The first option, wherein I'm sending a notification to the user. So during this pandemic situation, do you protect yourself and follow the do's and don'ts, which are precautionary measures which are shared to you. So for example, if I say, always remember to wash your hands, always remember to use sanitizers, remember to use mask, right? You can configure these notifications. You can use our automations to send these notifications to the user, right? And also, you can define a custom page. You can define your own HTML. You have to design an HTML at your end, and you can configure that HTML within the LeadSquared app so that you can show the content accordingly. You can see here the content: the clean your hands, wash your hands, use the soap, at least 60% of the alcohol that covers the surfaces. So you can use the app to send some notifications and also keep a page alive, right? So that they can refer to that page. So we'll come to the second part of tracking people's products and productivity and processes, right? So while people are using the system from different locations, one, how do I capture the attendance? How do I capture their activities, right? And what are the reports that I am going to access to? And then what are the escalation matrix and escalation notifications that I can configure within the system? These are the different questions. I'm sure these kinds of questions have already started flowing into the webinar. So most of them would know by now, LeadSquared has a functionality called Check-in and Checkout. It is very easy to enable this particular option. So once you enable this, what does it mean is once I start the work, I can do a check-in. And once I stop the work, I can do a checkout. The system is capable of giving you a complete report. What time did you check in and what time did you check out? Right? This will also help you to track the attendance of your employees. So you can always guide the employees, send an email to them, send a notification to them. Please check in, one, right, during your start of work, and please check out during the end of your work. This is how you can capture your attendances. In your mobile, you can send notifications where you can remind them to do the check-in, right? And also we can set up some automations where you can do an auto check-in or an auto checkout based on your office timings. So it is very easy to set it up. You go to the settings, you go to the users and permission tab right there, right? And there is an option called user check-in, and you can just enable the user check-in. The moment you enable, right, you will configure it to the different roles available in the system. So if you want to enable it only for the sales users, then you can enable it. If you want to enable it for all roles, then you can enable it for all the roles so that you can capture the check-in, checkout reports for them. This is how the check-in, checkout option would look in a mobile screen plus web screen. On the web screen, you will have a small icon at the corner, right-hand side corner of the screen. Once you click that, you'll get an option to check in, right? Once you check in, mobile will automatically capture the date and time. And if your location is enabled, it will also capture the location from where you have done the check-in. This is the web screen. You can see the arrow. So it's on the right corner. You can click on that icon to do the check-in. So if you go to the administrative reports and if you check the user login history, right, this is one way to monitor that your employees are logging into the system regularly, right? So how many times they have logged in? So are there any issues while logging in? right? And you can also configure this report and schedule this report so that it can come to you on a regular basis, right? So this report will give you the username and then the time at which they have logged in and what was the status of the login, success or failure, and also the login source, whether they have logged in through the web application or they have logged in through the mobile application. So all the options are available. Similarly, I would have a check-in and checkout report wherein it would give you user details and how many times he has done check-in or checkout in a day, what was the time he has done the check-in, and what was the location of the check-in. You will find this report in user activity reports folder. Right? I will take you through the reports section neatly so that you'll understand what reports are available in what section. So these are the
Suhas,
two reports. Yes.
before that, just wanted to know, can you manipulate the check-in checkout feature? I believe some people have asked that question. Can they just keep it on?
Yeah. So basically, it's a manual option of checking and checkout. However, we can set an automation at an administrative level where we can set up a time at which the system will auto checkout. So we have done it for many of our customers. So basically, if we set a business timing as 9 to 7, then every evening 7, system will auto check out the users. Okay. I
Okay.
hope that answers the question.
And we have another one that says, how does it track the idle activity?
Idle.
Yes.
Yeah. So currently, we are working on some enhancements to actually understand what does the idle activity mean, right? So basically, what happens in LeadSquared is there's so many options of traversing through the screens, opening multiple screens, lead within the lead, activities, and etc. Right? So we are concentrating more on specific actions taken by the users. So we'll give you actual numbers of the actions taken by the users. So when you compare a report amongst all your team members, you would automatically come to know that one of the user is not taking much of actions, even though there is a load amongst them. So for example, if I say I have equally distributed leads amongst 5 employees, right, and which is like 50 in number. However, 4 are able to do activities over all the leads, and one person is not able to do any activity over the leads, then definitely he's having a problem, right? And also you can set up few automations, which I will show it in further, wherein if actions are not taken against a particular lead, right, then you can set up some notifications to yourself.
Okay. And so Abhinav's follow-up question is there, how does check-in checkout help if it's work from home?
Basically, understanding is how do you track that the user has started the work. So the important thing in check-in checkout is system can identify and distribute the lead based on check-in checkout scenarios, right? So I open the system around 7 o'clock to understand that what are the works for the day. I want to finish few works, finish few tasks which were pending from yesterday, right? I don't want any new leads to assign to me, right? In that case, I'll configure the distribution based on availability of the user. Availability means assign leads to me only when I check in. So that's the concept, right? So then when I log into the system understands that I have logged in. When I check into the system understands that I'm ready for the work. And then the lead starts getting distributed or activities gets distributed, right? That's how it is effective for people who are working from home. Okay.
Okay, yes. Let's continue, Suhas.
Okay. So let me give some quick examples of sales notifications and automation tasks. Again, I'm hoping that all our customers who have joined today's webinar are using automations. If you're not using automations, please get back to us. It is going to help a lot in automating your processes, and also it is going to help you a lot in work from home scenarios. Let me try and give some examples to you. So one, it is very important to move towards a task-based approach to have an effective work from home scenario. Right? So that's where we were talking about collaborations. That is where we were talking about planning our day, right? So even I am working from home and I have a team of 50 members, right? I want to know what people are doing. Alternatively, what I have done from past 1 week is I create the task for them and I assign it to them, right? So that I'm having a complete control that what they're supposed to work on. Similarly, in a scenario where you can automate the task, I think you should automate. For example, whenever a new lead is created, right, I can put some if-else criteria, or I can wait for some time and create a task automatically using the automation after the distribution. So for example, if I have a business process which says whenever a lead is created, if it belongs to a particular region, then assign it to a particular group. Once assigned, the first task is to communicate or to contact the customer. So either you do a call or either you send an email. Once you have communicated an email, update the status of the lead. Based on the status update, then you can define what are the next tasks to complete. So in that case, what I will do is I'll create an automation. Whenever a new activity is created, I will create a task saying that call this customer or contact this customer. The moment when I try to complete the task, a form would open for him wherein it would ask him that what happened after your call. So there are different scenarios. Again, one, customer did not pick up the call, so I will try again later. So when I say that, how much later, 3 hours, 4 hours, right? Or tomorrow. Based on that, a new task is created. Customer said, yes, he's interested, but he's asking that somebody senior should call him. Again, create a new task. A new task is created and assigned. So imagine this scenario in your own business model. And if you can automate the tasks based on the output the employee is punching in into the system, then most of the work is sorted. So from a manager or from the leadership point of view, all I have to check is, are the tasks getting completed throughout the day or not, right? Similarly, there's one more automation, giving a similar example. Similarly, when a task is assigned, right, now I want to have some escalation matrix to check if the tasks are completed on time or not. So if you go through these automations say, so when a task is created, I will wait for 1 day. And if the task is not completed within the 1 day, first I will notify the task owner or the user saying that it is already been 24 hours and you have not done anything on this task, right? And also I'll wait for another 1 day, which is after 48 hours. Again, I will notify the manager or the leadership, right? Which is saying that this task is not completed. So imagine this scenario working out for you guys, right? It will be much more easier. You'll get meaningful notifications and meaningful emails from the system, wherein you have to act upon only those cases which are not attended. However, attended cases can take a backseat. Okay. So one more type of automations wherein I showed you screenshots where you had notifications, right? So at regular. So what we have is something called Cron Automation, which runs on a regular time interval. So for example, if I say run every 4 hours, right? Or if I say run every day at 9:30 a.m. morning, right? So one of the example is every 4 hours, I want to send a notification to all my employees that be safe, be at home, please don't go outside, right? Please wash your hands, right? Please take care of yourself. Similarly, you can have other notifications which is related to your business. Same way, 9:30 a.m., I'm just putting a notification reminder to them saying that you have to check in. So I know even though I tell them that you have to check in, people will not check in. So I will send a notification to them using the Cron automation that you have to check in into the system. Similarly, there's one automation, right? We can define the work hours like start of the day and end of the day, and based on which we can create automations. So end of the day, will notify them that please check out of the system. And if they are not checking out, again wait for 2 minutes, send one more notification. And once we are sure that people are not checking out, then auto check out from the system. So these are the different kinds of automations that will help you the course. Similarly, I have another example of start of a workday and end of a workday. The whole concept is automations will help you plan better. Automations will help you actually notify the users what they are supposed to do, right? Automations will help you to notify yourself. Automations will help you to set up an escalation matrix for yourself and for your organization. So what is important is understanding the key action points of your business processes. And once you understood the key action points, set up the triggers so that everybody is notified, right? And make sure that people are not missing up on the important aspects of your business process. Yes. So I think there are a few questions. Can you do auto check-in and auto checkout? Yes, we can do both. We can do auto check-in and auto checkout. Check-in we would not suggest because the user has to be ready there and logged in into the system, right? So that's the reason we wouldn't suggest. But checkout is a very viable and feasible option because people tend to forget to do checkout at the end of the day.
Also, Suhas, so there's another question that says, if the employee wants to work more than the time allocated, how is that captured?
Correct. So correct. So to answer that question, one, we are not restricting anybody to work extra using a check-in checkout option, right? So what we can do is, one, we can configure the business hours. For example, if I say 9 to 7 is my business hour, I will configure it as my work timing, right? And then allow them to check in, check out at any time. So there are two kinds. One, the lead distribution or the task allocation or the work allocation happens based on my check-in status. So that's how the automations are configured. In that case, if I'm checked in, I'll keep on getting new tasks, keep on getting new leads to work. Okay. In case I want to be logged in into the system, but I don't want new work to be allocated, in that case, what I will do is I will not check in or I'll check out of the system, but I'll complete the backlog. I will still continue searching my leads. I'll still continue going to my smart views and still continue to complete the activities and tasks which are assigned to me. But only point is I will not get new assignments, right? So both is possible. So I mean, it is not a hardwired rule in the system. So it's basically an indicating element, right? When we generate the reports, we will come to know their check-in time, their checkout time, their login time, their logout time, and also the time when they have performed their activities and tasks.
Okay, and I'm just going to add in some of the comments that have come in regarding this check-in, check-out feature as a whole. That you can apply location and time restrictions to prevent people from manipulating check-in, check-out, and also that check-in on mobile can be done only with location, but on web locations are not required.
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay, so Suhas, let's move further.
Yes. So now we will go to the important part of reports, right? So what kind of reports which will help me, right? So first important thing is configuring your team structure within the LeadSquared, right? So that you'll have meaningful reports and effective filters to see the reports. So there are two types of reports. One which comprises of entire set of leads and entire set of activities, which will not have much. So it is like system from day one till now, how many leads are there, how many stages are there, how many active leads, how many active activities are going on, and etc. And second way of looking into it is how I have grouped my teams, right? And the reports based on the team's performance, for which one important prerequisite is you have to create groups within the LeadSquared system, and these groups will help you, right, to bifurcate the users amongst their teams. And while generating the reports, you can actually select these groups and generate the report and compare the performances with the other group. So as you all know, when you just log into the LeadSquared, the first screen what you see is basically a dashboard, right, where you have multiple small square boxes called dashlets. So you can quickly configure dashlets by going on to the configure option and add as many dashlets you want, right? So one quick thing I have to tell is once the webinar is complete, we would share the slides with appropriate help links so that it will help you guys to configure these parts within your LeadSquared system. So few of the important dashlets which you can configure is one is the task summary. So you can see on the left hand side, so I have emphasized mainly on the screenshots where groups are configured, because groups helps me to see the activities which belongs only to my team, right? So that's how I can select the particular group and then I can generate the report. The first report says task summary. So basically I want to see the tasks which are done by my team, how many tasks are added, how many tasks are completed, and how many tasks are due, overdue, right? And how many leads are there with pending tasks. So every dashlet on the top will have a time range where you can select the time range and you can select, do you want to run it for today, you run it for yesterday, or between a time range, right? You can always generate that. Then group wise lead counts, basically to understand the load, which will understand the load of the entire team. So this is what group wise lead count does. So you can quickly see that how many leads are assigned to each and every person of the team member. And if you feel somebody is less loaded, then quickly you can log in and transfer few leads to him so that there is equal amount of leads. Next is the group wise lead by stages. Again, you can understand that what stage leads are there. The prospect, lead, demo completed, other stages, and etc. Again, group wise you can see. You can see group wise lead by owners, and then you can see by stage and owner too, right? So it's a cross tab kind of report where you can see the stages also and owner also. So how many leads are pending in how many stages. So if you understand your business funnel and the stages are being configured based on your business processes, right? So stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, like new lead, and then contacted, and then proposal in progress, right? And then a hot lead, and then finally a converted lead or a customer or a lost lead, right? You can actually imagine the funnel here, and you can see how the leads are moving into this funnel in a real time. You can see the count of all the leads. So this is one way. There are loads of other dashlets which are available, right? So quick things to note here is activities, tasks being the primary architecture of LeadSquared and productivity of a user, right? What are the key actions that user will perform in LeadSquared is one, he would create a lead. Two, he would complete his activities or post activities against the lead. Three, create tasks, right? And he would complete the tasks in his particular workspace. So the important thing is you configure your dashlets and configure reports mainly based on these three elements: lead based, task based, and activity based. This will give you the entire productivity understanding that how your users are using the LeadSquared, are they effectively using it or not, right? When I see my dashboard, I always see how many tasks are performed by my particular team members. If I have assigned like 5 tasks to somebody that today you have to do a requirement session, you have to continue the report session, you have to do a deployment of a particular code, right? These are the tasks which are already assigned to them. And I will monitor at the end of the day, are the tasks completed or not? Because I am configuring the system so that people know what task they have to attend on that specific day, and right, and they have to complete the task on the particular day. So another report of user productivity summary, right? So this report gives you a complete information of what are the activity types which they have performed, right? You can select the activity types, you can filter by users, right? And also you can set the date range, and also you can set the lead created date range. These are the different filters available in the report, and it will give you a complete idea based on each users belonging to your group or belonging to your team, that one, how many times he has logged in, how many leads are assigned to him, right? How many leads he has contacted, how many activities he has posted, how many activities he has updated, how many tasks are created and completed, right? Whenever I see this report, if the numbers are very low, the numbers are all zero, right, or 2, 3, 4, which means my team has no work for the entire day. The productivity of the team is not to an expected level which I am there. So ideally, if I want to see from a professional services point of view, ideally one person should always have minimum of 4 to 5 tasks in a day, and all those 5 tasks should be completed by end of the day, right? And he should be posting activities throughout the day, which means at least 6 to 7 activities needs to be posted throughout the day, right? This is how I measure my business. However, in a different scenarios like insurance, calling business, right? Then the activities number should be very high. Imagine if I have a benchmark of a user who needs to make a call, at least like 60 to 70 calls in a day, then definitely the activity posted will be selecting the call type, phone inbound phone call or outbound phone call activity will be selected in the filter, right? And I should see minimum 40 to 60 activities that are posted in this report. Similarly, real-time activity report, wherein you will find specifically for call centers, right, where you can particularly see how many leads are there at what stage and what are the different dispositions which are being defined, right? So these are the different dispositions that can be, I mean, that these are configurable dispositions which are defined within the system, and report would pull out and it would show the numbers. Again, a specific report called task summary, wherein I will see by the users, right? I will select the particular task type which has been created in the system, and I will see that how many tasks are performed, right? How many tasks were added, how many tasks were completed, how many pending, overdue, right? And what are the leads? And all the hyperlinks which you can see, it will directly take you to the leads, where it will show you exactly number of leads where these tasks are pending, so that it is easier for you to have a look into the exact data, deep second level of data, wherein you can see that this is the lead which you have not called in, and then you can always message them and ping them on your Teams or any of the internal tools what you use, and tell them that this is the particular lead which you're supposed to take an action on. Again, lead follow-up analysis, follow-up activities. So activities which are defined as follow-ups, when there are pending follow-ups. So you have to follow up, the tasks have been set up, right? So how many follow-ups have been done and how many such activities are posted. So the crux of productivity reports is, again, understanding the key action points which a user is supposed to do throughout the day, right? And picking up your activity and task reports, and then looking into the data, exactly the numbers, right? And providing a benchmark for them, like saying that these many tasks, these many activities needs to be completed within a day. That will give you an idea. This report here is phone call metrics by users. So this report is useful specifically for those systems, one, which is integrated with any of the cloud telephony system. Two, if you're using our mobile calling, right? The important parameter is there has to be an activity called inbound phone call activity and outbound phone call activity, which needs to be posted into the system for this report to get generated, right? This report will give you a complete analysis. One, how many calls have happened in the day, outbound calls, inbound calls, how many are answered, not answered, missed calls, voice messages, and average calls per day. It would give a graphical representation also of total calls versus inbound calls and trend of the total calls, right? And then below, you can also see phone call by users, individual user type again, per user, how many calls have been made, how many outbound calls, inbound calls, answered, not answered, right? And total call duration and average call duration. So again, this report by itself shows you that how your users are effectively using the system and how much calls they have made, right? And what's the duration they have spent on this. And the screenshot just giving you an idea that even mobile app is capable of giving you all sorts of reports, right? So mobile app also has capability of showing all these reports where you can go through a report section and select the activity based reports. And this is how the reports would look like, right? Similar to what web reports are, where it would give you the users, how many tasks they have added, completed, due tasks. Again, a distribution of group wise leads distribution and how it has been shown. Since the mobile screen is, the real estate is really small, so that's how the reports would you might have to little bit scroll it to the left and right. So other than reports, one of the important feature to understand the productivity and also make sure that your team is effectively working with LeadSquared, right, is your smart view. I'm sure people have known about smart views, so it is one of the most useful features, right? However, it is very, very undermined, or I say underused by most of our customers. Smart views are nothing but basically it's a rules which you can configure to actual view of the data. So basically, if I'm a leader, right, I want to know at any point of time, consider my scenario of professional services, right? I want to know how many new onboardings have come this month, right? And what is the current status on those? Second, how many onboardings are in requirement stage? How many onboardings are in risk stage? So what are the risks which have been defined by my team? Right? Similarly, if I'm working in an insurance scenario, then also I would want to know how many new leads have been assigned, right? How many leads have been coming for product A, right? How many leads are in a contacted stage? How many leads are in not contacted stage? How many leads have gone into a dead stage, right? And also I want to filter it amongst my teams and etc. So I can use this actually as a complete business process funnel also. So if I have 5 stages like new lead, contacted lead, negotiation stage, right? Deal one, or customer converted and customer lost. Imagine these 5 stages. I can configure as 5 tabs. You can see here like fresh leads, follow up. I can configure as 5 tabs within the smart view, right? And it will show me the numbers. So I can clearly see if I set a filter for today, I can clearly see that today there were 50 leads were created. And out of 50 leads, right now 30 are in contacted stage, then 20 are in negotiation stage, 5 got converted, 5 got lost. It gives me a real-time scenario that what's happening around. And with the help of filters, I can select my team members or the lead owners, and also I can see what is happening. Plus, I can configure specific tabs for my escalations. These are a few examples. I can configure a few for example, here delayed trainings and inactive as a stage, or train and not active as a stage, right? I can configure such tabs. Not only I can configure, but also I can set up a report. There is an option. There is an option in Smart Views where I can click subscribe to this as a report, right? Which means every day I will get a report. The snapshot which I'm seeing in LeadSquared, I will get it over an email, and these are the important leads which are getting worked on based on my criteria. So for example, I want to see how many leads are there which are not contacted in that day. I can subscribe the report and I'll get a report on my email. So morning when I get up, first thing I check my email that these are the leads which are not contacted. And I go to this particular tab, I sort by all the owners I see, and then I quickly call them and ask them, why are you not contacted? What was the reason? And put a plan accordingly that these leads needs to be contacted first. So smart views also acts as reports for you, and smart views also acts as important work area or the workspace which you can configure, right? And also monitor continuously what's happening and what's the status on all the leads that are there in the system. When you configure smart views, you can configure at 3 levels. One at a lead level where you get the entire lead data. Two at an activity level where you can configure a specific activity and you can see the data based on that activity, right? So for example, follow-up call is an activity. Then I can configure a smart view directly by saying follow-up call. And then tasks. So I can configure the smart view based on tasks. I can configure the task which I want to see, and that will come in a grid view. Task has two options, calendar view and a grid view. You can see the calendar view also. So for a user, it is much more easier if I have configured automated task using automation, or as a leader, I have created task and assigned it to my team members. They have to configure a smart view wherein they will see all their tasks. Just open the calendar and see that what are the tasks assigned to them. Click on that particular task and complete that task, and their work is done for that day. Quickly moving on to the next section of securities, right? So how to set up security in LeadSquared, right? Since people are working from remotely, from the remote locations, so what is the security that LeadSquared provides, and how secure is my data can be a question part. So we thought we will introduce this part in the slide. So before I go to that, any relevant questions, Shibani, with respect to productivity?
Um, can activities be tracked on hourly basis, monthly basis, something on the report section? Can they be tracked exactly per hour?
Yes. So when you go to the activity report section, there are two real-time activity by users. This is the report which will give you real time, and plus dashboard is also will give you real time. So it will also give you an hourly split, right? What we'll do is we'll quickly uh, take a note of this. We will introduce all the help links in the slide, right, and send you the relevant reports which will give you hourly split, which will give you a daily split. So it based on the filters which you are provided, we'll be able to generate the reports.
Yes, and also another question on reports, that can it be customized as per their business requirement?
uh, See, customization, definitely yes. So there are some reports which you can customize on your own, where you can add few fields which are already there in the system, right? Few two-dimensional, three-dimensional reports which are already available. But however, if it is a total new customization, then we have to take it up as a custom work. We have to develop it for you. You can always contact us with your requirements. If it is already available in the system, we will let you know. If not, we have to specifically customize it for you. If the report is generic enough, which can be used across platform, then we will take it up as enhancement and provide it to you.
All right. Okay. Then we can move on to security for now.
Okay. So, people who have no two-factor authentication, so LeadSquared has now two-factor authentication. So what does it mean is you know that it's your own user who is logging in into the system by providing their mobile numbers and email address. So once you enable the two-factor authentication, you have two options, either via SMS or email, right? So an OTP will be sent to the user via SMS or email, system will allow them to log in only once they enter the OTP, right? This is an important feature again to make sure that even if the password is being shared, right, we don't want any other users to log in into the system and extract or understand the data or copy the data, right? So which ensures that it's your own employees who are logging into the system. So this is how a screen would come. Basically, when you log in with your username and password, right, it would come with a new screen where and it will ask you to enter the OTP. So either OTP would have sent to you on a SMS or a email. Wait for maximum of 5 minutes, and after that you have to regenerate the. You can also have a report based on two-factor authentication, right? How many users are where the two-factor is enabled by role, right? And how many people are using it. So all those things are already available in the report format. So other than that, permission template is also an important part. So most of them, they're asking me that since now work from home is applicable, I don't want users to download any data from the system because it is not secure. So you can always apply permission templates. The specific arrow which is pointing is export, right? So you remove the option of export of the key objects like account, leads, activities, and tasks, which means user will not be able to export the data out of the system in bulk, right? This is important. And also the permission templates also allows you to give them access or not give them access to certain modules like custom apps, API access. If you don't want them to listen to the call recordings, then you can remove the call recordings. If you don't want them to access reports and download, right? So you can remove that options from there. And also you can edit the lead option and you can mask the certain data. So if you don't want people to see an important field within the lead squad, right? Then you can always open the permission template and mask the field or restrict the field so that they will not see the value. So in a business, important thing is email and mobile number, the contact details of your lead. And if you feel that that is at risk, what I would suggest is you go to the permission template, edit the lead, the view access. If you enable it, I mean, if you click on the view access of a permission template, it would give you the list of fields, and I would want you to restrict the fields which they can view and mask the fields like mobile number and email, which means they will not be able to see the data, but however, they will be able to perform all the tasks like click to call, right? Send an SMS, send an email. All those tasks can be easily performed, but however, they will not be able to see the email address or phone numbers to whom they are contacted. So that's it for now, right? So the important part of this particular webinar was one, we try and tell you that LeadSquared can be used effectively in work from home scenarios, right? Two, we really want to understand from all our customers that how they are battling this current situation, right? How the work is getting affected. If there is anything which we can really help you, right? uh, During this scenario, the team is always ready. So we will really make sure that your recommendations and your suggestions are taken, considered, and we want you to help. We want to help you to continue your business, and we also want to help you to use the Lead Squad effectively and adopt it even in a work from home scenario. So we have created a particular email address called support work from home or support WFH at leadsquad.com. So please do write to this email address about your suggestions or any help you required during this situation. So it'll personally come to founders and few of the key product managers and key managers within the organization, right? Who will immediately plan and start attending these queries and help you in this situation. Okay. Shibani, can we quickly go through a few more important questions before we wrap this up?
Sure, Suhas. But just quickly before that, I want to run the poll that we had kept for our audience today. So now that you know all the work from home features that we offer, that LeadSquared offers, please tell us how happy are you with the current work from home features offered by LeadSquared. All you have to do is tap the option on the screen. I'm extremely happy to say that nobody's very dissatisfied yet. So that's always a good sign. And the vast majority are saying satisfied. So that's about 47% are saying satisfied. No, it's gone up to 50 now. About 30% are saying very happy. 17% are saying neutral. 0% not happy. But 1% has now said very dissatisfied. So I will know who you are, so we will get in touch with you, not a problem. This is of course good feedback for us, and we want to improve, so we will
Correct.
certainly get in touch with all those
Correct.
people who are not very
Yes.
satisfied with what we're offering right now.
So we are working on few important things which will help you soon, right? One important enhancement we are working on is to bring on cloud telephony on mobile apps, so that we remove the dependency of web platform for calling, right? So that is one of the key enhancements which we are working on, and we might be able to release it quickly to all our users, so that they can directly use their cloud telephony on the mobile app. So that's one of the enhancement. So Shivani, any important questions that we can attend before?
Sure. So a couple of questions from our non-customers here. So the first question being, how does LeadSquared differ from other CRM competitors?
Yeah, so there's so many things what we differ from other competitor. Depends upon who our competitor is. So the key thing about LeadSquared, the key fundamental of LeadSquared is easy to use for users. So we keep our functionalities within one screen itself. We try that very effective and easy for a user to understand his day-to-day responsibilities, and he should complete his tasks with as less time as possible, right? And wherever there is a possibility of automating tasks and automating activities, then system should be agile enough to provide that facility to all our business users, right? And we are always there for our customers, right? However complex or however agile is the business process, the LeadSquared framework is so easy to configure, right? And adjust with the business changes, and quickly do the configurations and deploy, and easily trainable for our users. That's how currently we stand different from other competitors.
Okay. Just for our audience here, there are really a lot of questions, so please don't get upset if you're not taking yours at the moment. We will certainly get back to you. I'm just taking them as they come. So the next one's on lead distribution, and also about check-in checkout. So there were two similar queries here. One person says, if I have 100 leads and 5 agents, then how will it automatically divide the leads? And the second question was again about lead distribution. How will I manage my lead distribution if I arrange check-in system in my organization? The first one to check in, will they get all the leads from the previous night?
Correct. So that's a good question. So it's not a rocket science in distribution. It's a round robin method. When I say round robin, if 5 users are available, then first lead would go to user A, second lead would go to user B, C, D, right? And it continues. So now I understand. So when you say check-in scenario, the available user should get the lead. I would assume this question is much more effective when you have stock of leads. So for example, after business hours today at 7 p.m., there are like 100 leads which have come into the system, right? And those 100 leads, what happens when next day people log in and I do a check-in, right? Then what happens? So LeadSquared doesn't work in a way where leads are queued and it is waiting for somebody to check in into the system, right? So it works in a automation manner. So we have to set up automations for this. So it works in almost a real-time scenario. So which means if a lead is created now, system will check now how many available users are there and then apply round robin. In case of leads which are stacked up on the previous day, then we run a separate automation. Right? For example, if your work timing starts at 9, then I give a time till 9:30, assuming that by 9:30 most of my employees would have logged in. I'm giving a buffer of half an hour, right? And every 9:30 I run a cron automation which actually picks up all the leads which came during non-business hours and redistributes to the system. So in distribution card, the last step is basically if I don't satisfy the condition, if there are no available users, then assign it to a default user. So basically all the leads get assigned irrespective of any conditions, right? So if the condition is not satisfied, it still goes and assigns to a particular default user, maybe an admin, which needs to be reassigned based on my business scenario. So it depends upon how I want to run and how I want to distribute the lead amongst the system. Okay.
Okay. Okay. There were quite a few questions on smart views. So as if you could just elaborate on the benefits of smart views and how is it different from the classic mode?
Correct. See, smart views is basically a container, right, of conditions which you can provide and you can view it. So I can give a name as a workspace for me, right? So what do I want to see and what actions do I want to take further? So when I define a business process and when I define what do I want to view, right, it is very important for me. For example, the best example I can give is how do I set up my Outlook folders. So one, I can have inbox, right? If imagine if all 600 emails comes to an inbox and it is not sorted via rules, then I see all emails as same, right? I will miss out important emails that I need to attend, right? So one of the quick rules, I know which emails to respond to, which I need to respond immediately. For example, my boss. So I would create a folder called my boss, and I know whenever an email comes from my boss, I need to answer it within quick time so that he knows that I'm working on it. Okay. So giving that as an example, smart views are similar where I define my rules and set up the view in LeadSquared. Set up the view in LeadSquared. So it is very important to understand what I should see in a particular time or particular screen, right? So that I can take action upon if I am a manager. But however, if I am a sales user, it is very important to understand what are my pending tasks, what are my pending activities so that I can act upon. So now I can define the filters accordingly. So if I'm a sales user, I would define a filter that leads assigned to me and not contacted, right? It will come in one of the smart view tab and I can quickly act upon those. Plus follow-up reminders for the day or follow-up leads for the day. I will create a smart view and I will act upon. So actionable items can be defined as rules and then acted upon. So that's one important aspect. But for a manager, then I would want to see particular leads or the number of leads that are not contacted across, right? Then I would select a condition based on that and I can set the smart views. So there are a few key things. For example, I don't want to miss out on any escalation. So any email or anything that comes as an escalation, any notification or any automation that triggered as a escalation, I would set a property and I would set a condition in the smart view and I would subscribe that report to me. So that every day morning when I get up, I first see the email which has come. I will see, okay, these are the number of escalations which has come, which I need to attend to and have a quick meeting with my team, whoever is responsible for this particular accounts, right? And then set up the tone and set up the task for the day. So that's how you can use the smart views, right? So it's an important critical feature. Instead of using manage leads and seeing all leads at a time, you can structure the leads, or you can actually group the leads based on the conditions which you want to see, and see it under a Smart View tab.
Okay. So, Suhas, moving on to the next question. The question is, going forward, are there any new features coming up which will enhance our sales process?
Perfect. So, I mean, I will allow my product managers to give an insight quickly on the roadmaps.
Okay. Akanksha, Aishwarya, who wants to go first?
Okay, so hello everyone, Akansha this side, product manager at LeadSquared. So we would like to inform you all that we are working on this module called as opportunity management. All those who are waiting to have separate life cycles for their different products, we are working on that and we should be releasing it soon. So that is one big bang feature that we will be doing, and we will be sending notifications to you all to have a look at it or even get it enabled in your demo accounts and share your feedback on the same. So very soon we will start speaking to you all regarding this new feature of opportunity management that will be there in LeadSquared. So yeah, that's from our end. And also a couple of more things that we are doing in automation is making more task oriented automation, and the cron jobs that have been recently introduced with like you must be knowing about forms and process. In forms and process now we have tasks, and we are enhancing that section more so that you can schedule tasks based on users availability efficiently. So that is another thing that we are working on. So that's more or less from the product side, from the web end and mobile. Aishwarya, I guess you can go ahead and explain the same.
Yeah, hi everyone. This is Aishwarya, another product manager at LeadSquared. So, as Akansha mentioned, opportunities is also a module that will be soon coming on the mobile applications as well, and a few other features that we are also currently working that will enhance your entire this process would be one is cloud telephony connector. So that will make your call recording clearer. It will also log all of the calls that are there along with the status, whether it has been picked, and the relation against each call. And the other item that we are also picking up is notifications. So you will now be able to send notifications to different teams or different regions. So these are items that are currently work in progress. And yeah, so those are the items that will hopefully help you, optimize your entire process. So that's it from the mobile side as well. Suhas, back to you.
Cool. I hope the session was very useful, and I hope everybody who has attended have understood how to use LeadSquared and what are the key features which are available, which can actually enhance the experience of work from home. Correct. And I would also like to emphasize that we are ready to help you. We would want to listen from you that what better we can do within the product, and how best we can help you to set up your work from home environment for you guys to use your LeadSquared and continue your business, right? So, and also, guys, please stay at home and stay safe, right? Just praying. I'm sure everybody's praying that this phase will soon complete, and we'll all be safe and we'll be back to our workstations as normal. Thank you very much. Shibani, anything else, or we'll just quickly close this?
Yes, Suhas, we're done. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Suhas, Akanksha, Aishwarya, Pavan. They were all there to answer your questions. I know most 99% of the questions asked today were answered, and there were a lot of questions. So thanks so much. And of course, very important words there from Suhas. I hope everyone's safe and things get better. For those in the education sector, we have a webinar exclusively for you on Friday, which is a discussion on how education institutes are coping with the crisis. So feel free to join that session as well. Look out for an email from me, or just respond to my email and I will register you for that. Everyone, thank you so much for taking the time to join the session, and I hope this was useful to you, and I hope you're able to continue business productivity thereafter. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.